You're back on ESPN 1000. This is Beyond Sports. Hannah Stanley and Artie Kennedy. We're in studio with Planet Green's host, Total Wrecklamation host, Jodi Murphy on Planet Green Network. Thanks for coming back, Jodi. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. You won't let me leave.
Nah, well, that's what happens when you're bound.
I tried.
We will not gag. We will bound, however, to keep you in studio.
I'm a bit of a stalker. I watched the show. Everything she's like, yeah, and then we did this. I'm like, I watched that show. I saw that episode.
We learned in the course of our little time here so far is that Jodi is the president of Murco.net, Murco.net, and that's how you got started, and then the show came along afterwards.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go into homes that are going to be demolished or they were going to be totally renovated, and you auction off whatever you can.
Exactly. Everything is auctioned off intact, and then it's the new, the buyer's responsibility to pull out their tools and get it out of there
within a day.
Yes.
Okay, so what stands out to you? Is there something in the course of doing this that stands out that was like, man, that was the coolest thing, or some of the coolest things that I auctioned off?
Well, what I'm most proud of is that I auction off everything, even the ordinary. It's just it's quantity of materials that I'm proud of. But there have been some extraordinary pieces, namely this bar. It was an Art Deco bar, and this house was deconstructed. It was an Art Deco bar that was like in the rumpus room of this gorgeous estate. And you walk back there, and I thought I was going to grow a mustache and a cigarette would magically appear.
Smoking jacket.
Yeah, and Danny, and then I would be hearing Frankie. Frankie'd be like, "Where you been, baby?" It was an absolute masterpiece. I mean, I've never seen anything like it, and it was bought by a local architectural dealer here, Architectural Artifacts, and he's a tough negotiator, that one.
Yeah.
I tried to get him liquored up to get the price higher, but
not so much.
Not a lot of people have the expertise when it comes to architectural salvage. I mean, it's easy to unscrew cabinets off a wall. Well, easier said than done. But for me, I'm management, so I watch. It looks easy. It takes some expertise. Thing. Yeah, I think so.
Is there something because Hannah mentioned it before? Is there something that you won't auction off? But did you go in and go, I can't believe somebody's actually paying for this? Is there anything that stands out where you go,
no?
Well, I don't mean in particular who bought it or whatever, but is there something where you go, wow,
what is wrong with you? No. I'm just glad that someone's utilizing it. I mean, that's what our mission is. If we take a hard line and people walk away empty-handed, then what?
Right, absolutely.
I've won because I'm like, oh, well, they're not going to,
Well, something else that doesn't get to the landfill, too.
Right,
so
exactly.
It's cool.
Now, what if things don't go that should? What do you do with them then?
I cry like a baby.
No, but if somebody, if it's a freezing cold day and you don't have a big population for your auction that day, what do you do with that stuff?
We have many options that we do. First of all, I'm a broker. That's what I do. So I got peeps. You know what I'm saying? I got go-to people that I could go to.
Sure.
How about that? I'm the go-to girl.
Yeah,
going
you
to
are.
A
guy with the thing.
With the thing and the going.
Horse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or we do have a warehouse that we pull the items and sell them from online. And we sell them out of it's called More Stuff for Sale because, we're a classy company.
Yeah, right.
But I figure that kind of encapsulated things. And so we sell them, from the warehouse.
I was hoping your house wouldn't be like the Sanford and Son house where you could barely make paths up the stairs and stuff.
You know what? It's so funny. First of all, it's like Murphy's house of estrogen, okay? It's not like I got any testosterone working in that house. I had my dog passed away, so that was the last I had of the testosterone. So everything's sort of falling apart. I have a very old home. Plus, I work on the weekends. So how do you improve your home? I'd rather improve other people's houses. I do not live in squalor by any means. Yeah. And my entire house has been redone with used building materials.
Okay.
So I am like Cy Sperling, the Hair Club for Men.
Yeah.
I'm not only the president, I'm a customer.
Yeah, that's cool.
But my house, if somebody wants it and, wants to buy it, I've been in my house for 18 years, and they've been trying to kick me out for 17 of them. No, I'm kidding. The neighborhood's like, when's Jodi leaving? No, I'm kidding. But my baby's going away to college, and so I'm going to be selling my home and moving into the city.
Fancy pants.
Wow.
I don't think that's not necessarily. No, I want to buy a house. I want to buy something that needs work so I can utilize used building materials in and have my own sense of ownership and pride. And
Sure. And we'll get Ed Begley on the phone, and we can consult about
Yes.
some wind turbines and some
yes.
solar panels. And I love him. And so you are putting your house up for sale. You're going to move into the city. But this is something that interests me. Do you have you gotten into bidding wars with your own customers, or do you walk in and go, those are mine, and don't even auction?
Oh, no. You know what?
Well, you get there before then.
I get there before them, but the thing is this. We're a very busy household, and so it's not about, let's make sure that doily doesn't get moved. You know, it's sort of like, well, if they want it, they can have it, because I'm in the business. I can come across another one.
Yeah.
And, my house is not the Taj, but I'd rather have a happy home than a perfect home.
Yeah.
And I would say that my crooked little house is would quantify.
My wife and I refer to it as a lived-in house.
Lived in.
We can't have you sit on the couch in the family room.
Yeah.
I get yelled at.
Well, the
sometimes for-
Durafab. Remember Durafab? He spilled on my Durafab.
This is ESPN 1000 Beyond Sports. We're in studio with Jodi Murphy. She is the host of Total Wrecklamation, going through homes that are going to be demolished and or remodeled and auctioning everything off. Now, during these auctions, because the one I watched, it was out in Downers Grove, and you were out on the back porch, it looked like, and you were auctioning off this door that looked like something out of, I don't know, medieval times. I mean, it looked really thick, and there was a lion's head on there. And just to point out, I mean, it looked like a very valuable door.
It was.
So how do you know where to start with these things?
Well,
With the prices, I mean.
the funny thing is, it really doesn't matter where I start. If I start at a level that I think it should be, that the room is silent. They're there for the dance of deals too. So
Right.
wherever I start doesn't necessarily, that's not where I'm going to end. I mean, sometimes when I say, okay, $1,000, people will be like, you are legally insane. And then I say, come on, guys, what do you say? So
Right.
it's good, you got to work the crowd because
Right.
everybody's there to get the killer deal. And I respect that. But sometimes, I have the right to refuse any bid if it's not in my client's best interest. Okay.
Now, you don't have a problem telling them you're out of your mind. You know how much this stuff really costs?
We fight all the time. And, because I understand it's the struggle. It's the
Yeah.
dance of deals. They want to get it for cheap.
You're Herb Tarlick.
I'm the Bobo doll of demolition auctions, baby. I mean, they just, it's like a little wrestling match.
Yeah.
And, that's part of the fun of it for
Yeah.
them,
Well, let's face it, for you as well.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of into that kind of abuse. No, it would be really nice if I said, okay, I'd like $50 for this, and someone says, Jodi, that's fabulous. I'll give it to you. I would just drop to my knees and sigh.
Yeah.
Have you ever priced something that clearly was too low because of people jumping on it? Or did you go,
Well,
"God, I
that's why we
really
use the
should have
auction
started
process.
higher"?
It's not
Yeah.
a first come, first served thing,
Yeah.
because the last thing you want to hear as a broker is someone walking up to you saying, I would have paid you a lot more than that.
Yeah,
right.
That's like, poke my eye out, please.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I feed my family this way. Why don't you just twist the knife?
Right.
But-
I'm drowning. You're describing the water.
Yeah, I'm in hell. No. But, I mean, I have negotiated ad infinitum with somebody over $5 and then seen it get him in his Mercedes-Benz and drive away. And I'm like...
Which is why he has a Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
understand, but that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
There's like a push-pull, there's a win, and if everybody walks away feeling good, then we got the whole thing down.
Well, you absolutely have to feel good if you're going to go to these, because you put on there what it sold for and roughly what the retail value of said item was.
Right.
So I think the door was listed at 38. The door that I was speaking of just a couple minutes ago was listed at somewhere around $3,800 or something like that, and it sold for about $26.
Right.
Something like that. That's a pretty good deal for somebody. Granted, the doors had a few openings and closings,
Right.
but it's still that door.
No, right. But here's what I didn't know. And see, there's so many... Auctions are really kind of funny because there's different motivations going on. Now, had I known this guy's motivation, I would have juice that bitch. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. But, it's my job.
Yeah.
Because this man was intent on buying it, period. He had bought one of the lots.
He said that, too, by the way.
Well, yeah, I know.
In the show,
I
he
saw
said,
that, but they didn't tell me that when we were shooting. That
Right.
would have been valuable information.
Right, because Jodi would have made a little more for the door that didn't make it to the landfill.
But still,
Yeah.
He walked away happy.
I think the words
happy.
he used was, I wanted
Chump.
the door. Yeah, well, no, he goes, I wanted the door, so I knew I was going to get the door.
Right, but see, that would have been good for me to know. And likewise when, people are working with serious constraints, although everybody says they're working with serious constraints. As I say, it's part of the fun.
What are some of the constraints? What do people have to be prepared with when they come to one of your auctions?
They have to be prepared with measurements, cash, tools, yes,
and helpers, probably.
Friends that owe you favors.
Yeah.
Plus transportation contingency things. So if you get the kitchen, it's not like you're going to put it in your Pinto and drive away. You got to get a truck. And so that's what, I have great respect for my buyers because they're scoring great deals, yes. But this is not easy for the weak. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to have an adventurous sort of spirit. But it's great for, husband and wife come out in the mornings for the auction with their coffee. And, they have a project. It's something they're working on. And another thing that I really like about demolition auctions is it's a community event. When houses go down, people are driving by these houses, the community's driving by these houses, they sort of become like familiar friends to people. And even if they've never stepped foot in it, they don't want that house to go down. So it's really nice to have an opportunity for the house to be opened up so that it doesn't seem like such a waste. It's almost like a decommissioning.
Well, and that, how do people find out when and where you're going to be there?
Well,
at said house, how do they know it's going to be demolished? Because I've seen, things that, looks like there's construction stuff, but I wouldn't necessarily know that it's going to be demolished.
Right. Well, pretty much the only way we advertise is through our website, Murco.net. Now, people can go on there and register to receive auction alerts.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so you don't miss it. But we keep adding stuff all the time. So you really have to go onto the website and see the materials. Then prior to each auction, if you've elected to receive auction alerts, we'll send you an email saying, yo, go to Murco.net and check it out. See what we got going on. And then you can say,
we'll hook you up.
We hook a sister up. It's what we do.
I'm telling you, this is absolutely amazing stuff, especially since I own a home and there's so many things that I want to ask you about. But we will find out more about that with Jodi Murphy in studio on Beyond Sports on ESPN 1000.